Hey everybody, it's the end of May chili plant update. We'll start off here. The plants are now moved to the south side of the house. That way they can get a few more hours of sunlight every day, and they seem to like it a lot more over here. So we'll get right into it. You'll notice a lot of the plants are pretty dirty. We had 2 days of thunderstorms and a lot of splash up from the soil. I need to get that taken care of. Just get them cleaned up. But anyway, first off, the sweet pickle pepper. This is the one I'm just letting go, letting it do its thing with all the chilies on here. You can get a good shot so you guys can really see in there. This one that has like the suntan on it, that was the first pod that came in. There's a ton more following it. Got at least a dozen pods coming in on here. So it's doing good, and it's staying bushy. Not as bushy as the other one that I'm picking the flowers off of. I mean, they look pretty similar, but this one you could tell like it's pushing pods and growing at the same time, so some of the leaves, I don't want to burn it with fertilizer and give it too much, but it's getting plenty, I would think. It's just pushing so many pods at once. A little bit of the leaves were crinkled, but even the new leaves you could tell, I mean, they're not really looking deficient or anything like that. So here's overshot, you know, it's about the same as the bucket. So yeah, nice little canopy on that one. And the next one here, this one is also about the same as the bucket, but on this side it's just hanging over the edge. But on this one, I mean, if I do this shot here, and you guys look at that, there's just so much growth in there. I am either gonna have to wait until it gets taller and spreads out naturally, or I can just get in there and trim some of that stuff so they're not fighting over space. You know, that we have stalks and stems growing into each other, leaves growing into each other, getting tangled with each other. So I might have to get in there and do some trimming. It'll do it good. This thing is super bushy. All right, so that's it for those. Next, devil's horn. Here's this one. It's got a little canopy on it so far. And oh yeah, this one definitely has a lot of stalks growing off the main stem, as you can see. Alright, it's growing up pretty much the whole length of it, so it's doing pretty well. Okay, next one, a little bit of growth down here coming off the main stalk. A little bit of it's trying to push a canopy, but not quite, but it's still looking pretty good. Alright, next I believe is the devil's brain. Yep, okay, so devil's brain here, this one, it's this was the younger one, I believe, that started after all the others, but it's doing good. It's getting some growth there on the main stem, and it's just now starting to get its Y at the top with the flowers, so it's doing well. All right, the other one here, this one got kicked around by that storm. It has dirty leaves and all that rainwater splashing up, but it's doing all right. We've got some growth right there at the bottom on the main stalk, the main stem, the stalk's coming off. All right. And lastly, the devil's heart. This one is developing a little bit of a canopy there, and not too much on the main stem. Those stalks are just starting to come off of it, just starting to develop. So yeah. And the other one here, it's doing pretty well. It's got a bunch of flowers I need to take off of it. All right, same thing. Those stalks on the main stem are just starting to come out and looking good. All right. Next, this is the red devil's tongue. All right, this is much bigger and bushier than the yellow. All right, so there's that top and there's the middle. This thing is really going to be bushy. You see, basically all the way from the very bottom right up to where it Y's off is just stalks and stalks coming in that are going to be all those diagonal shoots coming out. So that's doing well. All right, and then the yellow devil's tongue, still staying short, not short wide. I guess it's just because it's a yellow variety of the devil's tongue. I don't know. Getting the stalks in there on the main stem. All right. So yeah, devil's tongues. Next, Carolina Reaper. This bad boy here is the biggest one so far as height, and it is looking real nice. It's finally got its Y right there at the top. Alright, and then again, like a lot of the other ones, it's starting to get the shoots on the main stem there. Really nice looking plants. That's the thing, like once those reapers start growing like this, they grow like weeds, and hopefully they don't stop, and that's what we want. So this is the other one. It wide before the other one, it split. Not as tall, but bushier on the main stem. You know, all that coming out, which is good. So I like having variations of the plants, especially the same varieties, because then you can see, you know, which ones are going to be bushier, which ones are going to be taller, and see like how much you're going to put out and stuff like that. So next are these peach? Yeah, peach 7 pods. Okay, this one was a little bit sickly about 2 weeks ago, and it had a bunch of funky looking leaves on it, like weird discoloration spots on it. So I took it away from all the other plants, gave it a thorough trimming, took every single leaf that had any kind of spots or nasty looking stuff on it, trimmed it all off, kept it away from all the other plants, and now it's getting these shoots coming off. A little bit of a canopy on the top, and everything looks really, really nice. So it's coming in well. And the other one here, not touched, other than flowers being plucked off. Starting a little bit of a canopy, right? And just a massive amount of growth coming off the main stem. So it's looking real nice, all right? And next, what do we have? Okay, 7-pot Chiguana here. This one got tore up. That's not insect damage, that's from the rain. I mean, there's bits of leaf down in the soil from it getting beat up by that storm. But it's doing all right. Getting a little bit of growth on the main stem, and it's coming up. It hasn't wide off just yet. Looks like it's about to. All right, and this is the bubblegum 7-pot. Tiny little bit of a canopy. After it split out, and some growth right there on the main stem. Okay, looking pretty nice. Next, last of the super hots, Maruga Scorpion. This thing's looking real nice. It's got kind of a sideways canopy angled towards the morning sun, and a lot of nice growth coming on the main stem there. Looking good. All right, and the other one, this one's taller, with much less growth on the main stem. Okay, so we'll just see how they grow together. All right, and then we got out of my shadow here, the Galapagos. This is the big one out of the two. It's finally starting to flower right there. Let me get to zoom in without getting it all shaky. Okay, so yeah, that's the Galapagos, and a bunch of stalks coming off of it. And it looks like a nice little plant. So that's it for the big one. And the small one here, it's finally deciding to grow a little bit. It's getting some stalks coming off the main stem. It's still real short, but it looks healthy. So that's it, guys. May 28th, last update for the month, and hopefully they just start, you know, really kicking into it. They're all looking really good. I'm happy with the progress they've made with this month, and we'll see what June brings.